This video is being sponsored by Darewise Entertainment. They provided me with the game, but the views and opinions are my own. That being said, welcome to this game of games where I am the Martian, and I am recording this all post-production because I was having a hard time getting the game to want to be recorded with Bandicam. I don't know why it would stutter every now and then. Game plays fairly well, not being recorded. It is extremely hardware intensive though, but it's a very pretty game. It looks really nice, and the reason it looks so nice is it's running on the Unreal Engine 4, which means it looks really good, but you have to have a fairly good computer to actually run it. I know the game runs at about 60. It runs at probably roughly 45 to 50 on my computer. I don't have the newest, best, awesomest computer, but it does run. It runs fairly well, not being recorded, obviously. I don't know why that was the issue. But, yeah, it looks good. It plays really well. For what it is, it plays well. There's not a whole lot to the game. It's more or less just building up materials and stuff. But what is this game, you may be asking, because I said I was the Martian. This game is set on Mars. You are trying to survive on Mars in any way possible, kind of like the Martian. You have to get materials, build, pressurize your room to not die of suffocation. But there's not a lot to the game right now, as I mentioned. There is building materials, which are just kind of steel plates that you can place around, only on pre-existing structures, though. You can't just place them anywhere in the world. You have to go to one of the many, I won't say few, there are quite a lot, pre-made structures, and build off of those. So you can place those down. You have generators, lights, wires, pipes, a not a compressor, a pump. It's called a pump, but it's kind of compresses. Oh, what is the name for that? Atmospheres. I don't know. It causes the pressure in the area to stabilize, and it allows your little oxygen tank to keep oxygen in there, I guess. It creates Earth's pressure, atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. So you can put those down. The big oxygen tank, it just works by itself. You put it down, you can press Q on it, which is very odd. Q on it to pull oxygen out, refill your oxygen. There is no food situation going on. You don't have thirst, you don't have hunger yet. Those are planned to go into the game. But you have those. You have food, hunger, planned to come into the game, not yet. And more building and stuff. There is one craftable item, which is a door, which all you do is you have to have a workbench hooked up to a generator, and the workbench I could only find. I couldn't get it at all. But you have a workbench. You put in, I think it's like a hinge and a steel plate or something of that combination, and you get a door out of there. That's the only craftable thing as of right now. And so this game really isn't a whole lot, but it's also a very basic pre-alpha. It's very nice looking, very pretty, but there's not a whole lot of game to really say much about, except the fact it looks nice. That is probably the biggest downside to the game right now, to what I have and had access to, was there was just nothing for me to really do. Though, the other big downside is it's super hardware intensive. It takes about 1.5 gigs of memory as soon as you turn the client side on It does support online play. You can connect to other people's servers. You kind of have to run a local server to make it work because there's no real single player functionality right now. But yeah, it is super hardware intensive. It eats memory, about 1.5 gigs, like I said, and it also pushes the CPU up really high. So you probably won't be able to play it unless they optimize it, which you can tell right off the bat. The game is not super optimized. The draw distance, there's a huge draw distance on it, which is one of the reasons it's so hardware intensive. So if they had a shorter draw distance, it'd be nicer. Or the ability to change your draw distance. There is no options right now. You can't turn the graphics down, you can't change the draw distance, you can't rebind keys, you can't do anything of the sort. But again, it is pre-alpha, so though that would be nice to have, it's not really mandatory to have in this state. I do wish that there was something more to the game, more substance to really look at. So I got this. I was sent an email actually telling me to go and apply for this game on a website that I frequent every now and then that kind of gives access to things every now and then. So I was like, okay. I go in there, apply for it. They're like, yes, please make a video of the game. Here's the game. You do get your own opinions and thoughts on it. All you have to do is put a link to our Kickstarter and kind of promote the game itself, which I'm doing. I'm promoting the thing. They didn't even say promote it. I'm promoting it because I feel like promoting it because I would love to see more of this thing. The only problem is there's not a whole lot of days left on the Kickstarter, and so I'm not sure when or if this will be made, come out, because they are far away from their goal. But it would be really nice to actually see it come out because it's a game about being a Martian. I mean, it's a sandbox game, obvious with the building and everything. But it's a different take on it. Which, I mean, I know games like Minecraft, people have made mods to be able to do the same thing. But I am kind of fascinated by the book/movie The Martian. Just the concept around it and the concept of it being plausible that I kind of really like this game and that aspect of it. But as far as really much more I can say about it, there's not a whole lot I can say about it. It's very pre-alpha. There's not a lot of content. I wish there was more content, but it is pre-alpha. There's a Kickstarter. You can go back it if you so choose, if you would like this thing to come out sooner than later, if at all, hopefully at all. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Very interesting concept. I would back it. I hope other people would too. But I'm going to end it here for now. This has been Ninja Boy, and check out the Kickstarter in the description below if you so desire. And I will be back later with something else. See you guys then.